The San Francisco 49ers head into the Meadowlands and defeat the New York Giants. Jason Aponte, boots on the ground at MetLife Stadium. A good victory Sunday for the 49ers, one that was much needed after the game against the Houston Texans last week. But Jason Aponte, I really just want to hear your experience at MetLife Stadium, first of all, before we really dive into the game, because it seems like a very fun and cool stadium to attend.
Well, Adrian Martinez is in to kneel this thing out, so that should let you know like how this game went. But look, I made no bones about this game. This was personal. I've lived here my entire life.
Yep.
This is personal. The NFC Championship game that was hurtful for me to deal with. When Terrell Owens and the 49ers came back against the New York Giants, I was kicked out of my class because I walked in popping shit late or whatever, and I pointed to people like, you don't understand.
Yep.
I want to be biased. I mean, I want to be unbiased. I want to be objective, but I'm biased. You have to fucking win this game. And not only the 49ers win it, they won it by 10, but it's good to see a bunch of people that won, are Niners fans from, all over and from around here. And also, it's a good time to talk crazy to my Giants fans that are friends as well, too. But yeah, 34-24, the 49ers faced the worst run defense in football, and they ran the football. So it was pretty, again, it doesn't take the most acute mind to understand what was supposed to happen in this game.
Yeah, and it wasn't the most impressive of run games by Christian McCaffrey. You mentioned the run game. He did finish with 106 yards. It took 28 carries to get to it, so he's only at 3.8 yards per carry. I was really impressed with Brian Robinson. Every time he touched the ball, he ran for a good amount of yards with a long of 18, which, oh, by the way, Jason Aponte, Brian Robinson's longest run of the season is now longer than Christian McCaffrey's longest run of the season. So just throwing that one out there. McCaffrey's season long was today a 16-yard run to start the game, but Brian Robinson's 18-yard touchdown. But that offense is what I expect the Niners offense to look like. Mac Jones looked really good. I thought Mac Jones looked really, really good. Doesn't throw his first incomplete pass until I think his first pass in the second half. No mistakes. The one mistake was Colton McKivitz allowing Brian Burns to beat him on the edge. That was not ruled an interception. It was ruled a fumble. You kind of take that. Brian Burns is Brian Burns. He's one of the best pass rushers in the game. Maybe he joins the Niners on the flight home. I don't know. We'll see. Tuesday's the trade deadline. We'll get into that a little bit later. But really, I thought it was one of the more impressive showings for the 49ers offense. Not just because of the run game, but also because of how good Mac Jones looked. Oh, hey, Jawan Jennings, welcome to the 2025 season. We like it. But yeah, just an overall really, really good game for the 49ers offense. And the run game is exactly what Kyle Shanahan wants to see.
I mean, when you have these advantageous matchups, right? And it's so funny because, all week I've written on Niners Nation about run the football, Kyle. So, of course, the first thing you do on your first play is to throw a pass. But it's all there, right? Like it was all there in front of you. And, for everything that, whatever it is that, doom and gloom week to week, the 49ers should have won this game going home. Like they just did, right? And Mac was great, again. And now look, you want your sunshine and positivity. Let's find out what happened with Michael Williams. I fully expect his leg to be amputated tomorrow. After we find out, that he was injured. But Brock Purdy, Ricky Pearsall, all these guys are going to return within a week. And now you face the Rams again, and you're 3-0 in that division. And you know how you feel like, hey, we're never going to be in the division race again. And you know how you're going to be in a division race, like, and you say, no, you can't or anything like that, but now you really have a chance to do something special. So again, you know what? Shout out to the 49ers group, man. The ragtag group of defensive players, defensive line, all of them, they've done a great job, man. And I again, week to week, you can say, hey, listen, this team was bad this week, and that could be fine, with how you're evaluating. But for me, I just feel like to be 6-3 through 9 weeks with all these injuries, like I think it says a lot about this team, man. And you should be excited.
Yeah, and these are games that the Niners have to win right at this point of the season because of all the injuries. When you have a team that's 2-6, like the New York Giants were entering today, now 2-7, even with all the injuries you have, like you need that game, you need this game. And the Niners, they really look like the team that we've come to expect a fully healthy team to look like. You know, the pass rush was a little hit or miss. Keon White, he had a pressure on like the first play
He
of the
played.
game. He played. He had a pressure on the. He busted through the line on the first play of the game, and then he fell. And then he didn't record a stat. He's not in the box score. But Cleveland Furl, which I learned today, it's pronounced Furl, not Farrell.
Furl
Hey, got
sounds
to learn how
better.
to pronounce these names. It's not Will Furl, it's Will Farrell, but it's Cleveland Furl. He had a sack, a big sack. Which, by the
I
way,
don't know
shout out
how
Jackson Dart.
Jackson Dart. Hell yeah, holding on to that ball. My God.
Shout out Jackson Dart for holding on to that ball. But the defense felt right. The opening drive wasn't very good. The opening drive didn't feel great for the defense, but at the same time, it is one of those things of scripted plays are supposed to work, and the Giants scripted plays worked well. But the defense really is solid performance until the fourth quarter when the game was more or less out of hand.
Andrew, I know they want analysis and stuff like that. Can you spin the
Get the little, there we go.
You know what?
Got it.
And I want to tell any of my friends that are watching that are Giants fans, look at me dead in my eyes. I'm gonna get real close. The Giants fucking suck, and you should feel bad for rooting for them. Also, like really bad. Like I just want to make sure that we get it, understood. I think we have a super chat also too. If you could put that on
Yes,
the
we do.
screen so we can check it out.
K Star
Uh,
says, "Thank you for the donation. I don't want to see CMC in garbage time ever again." Yeah. Hey man, Christian McCaffrey's done a great job. Hey, out of all the elite traits Christian McCaffrey's had this year, it's been staying healthy. Like that's been his most elite trait this season. So for that, yeah, thank you, K Star, for the donation.
Appreciate that.
But Christian McCaffrey, one of his better games of the season, as I said, 28 carries for 106 yards and the rushing touchdown, and then 5 receptions, 67 yards for a touchdown as well. Really, the receiving game didn't look that great for him until the 39-yard catch. Which, by the way, was aided by a Brian Robinson 42-yard kickoff return, which another week for a Brian Robinson big kickoff return. So maybe he's working his way to being the return man for the Niners. But just overall, I thought it was a solid game. One of the better games the
Yeah.
Niners have played this season.
Yeah.
The offense very much on track, and I know that New York secondary is dealing with a lot of injuries, but again, that's a tough pass rush to deal with, and it felt like the Niners
Andrew,
offensive line handled it as well.
Andrew,
I like it. I like it.
Andrew, don't bring up injuries. I don't give a fuck about
That's
what
true.
the Giants are
That's
going
right.
through.
That's
Come
right.
on, man. I don't care. You shouldn't care
That's
either.
you're absolutely correct. Hey, the Niners defenses look pretty decent despite all their injuries as well, and the Niners haven't allowed 34 points yet this season. So I guess that's a
Well,
positive.
it's because you're the proper statesman of the podcast, right? Like when you
Yes.
want to like point these things out. Me, on the other hand, I am the uncouth, belligerent, portion of the podcast in which I don't care that your secondary is banged up. I don't care about your injuries, and I will not acknowledge them. So but you do bring up a good point. I will say that.
Thank you. Thank you. I try my best to bring up good points, Jason Aponte. Mac
You always
Jones,
do.
we mentioned it earlier, 19 for 24, 235 yards and 2 touchdowns. No interceptions, only 2 sacks. I thought he was fine. He looked good. I don't want to stir anything because I got in trouble for that on Monday. I think the one thing that he is definitely better at Brock Purdy than is those tight window throws. He
Yeah.
had a few of them earlier today. I forget the one I texted the group chat about. I think it was the Kendrick Bourne or something. He really knows how to find those tight windows, and he gets those balls in there. A relatively impressive game. It's not his biggest game statistically, 235 yards. But again, it's just the mistake-free football. It's the mistake-free football from him. He does a really good job keeping the 49ers
On
ahead of the
schedule.
chains on schedule. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. As I said, the one mistake really was the fumble, but that wasn't on him. Colton
I
McKivitz
didn't
got
even
beat
see
by
it, so it
Brian
didn't
Burns.
happen.
Didn't happen. But Colton McKivitz got beat by Brian Burns, and that's not even a fault of Colton McKivitz because Brian Burns is just that good of a pass rusher, Jason. But how did Mac Jones look inside the stadium to you?
No, look, again, he looks like Mac Jones, man. The 49ers have the best backup quarterback in the NFL, and he's probably a starter in the NFL. Now, do you roll the 2 years? Look, I don't see how you can get rid of Mac Jones after you don't know what Brock Purdy is going to be moving forward or anything like that. So, we have a quarterback controversy that's built, 2 years into the making, but he looked great, man. And he looks like a guy who understood exactly where he needed to go with the football. Like you said, in the third quarter, that was the first incompletion. He looks great, man. And look, he is a professional quarterback, and the 49ers through 9 games, 9 weeks, are 6-3 without Nick Bosa, without Fred Warner, without George Kittle for most of it. Like, I look again, after losses, it's easy to commiserate and come together and say, oh my God, this team is cooked and we're this and that or whatever. But like, do you understand that NFL wins are hard to come by, even if Nick Bosa and Fred Warner and all those guys were on the actual roster and playing? Like, this is impressive, and it still is, man. 6-3. Like, there's teams that are much healthier than the 49ers that wish they were 6-3. And this is just a testament to the infrastructure that they built with their backup quarterback. Christian McCaffrey's been incredible, and the defense has made enough plays. Shout out to Jair Brown today as well, too, man.
Yeah.
Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, good to see you, buddy. Like, they thought so much of Jair Brown that Marcus Siegel is inactive. So I think we're starting to get to the place where we understand where the safety group is going. But, again, opponent, right? Bad run defense, run the football. When you say, where was this offense against Houston? Houston's defense is really fucking good. Like, I think there's a difference. Like, those guys get paid too. So, but 6-3, I think any 49er fan that was the most optimistic would have said, this is what I want the record to be through 9, because I understand the NFL and I understand injuries and I understand weird games. And here they are. And next week could be Brock Purdy, Ricky Pearsall, all these other guys in Levi's against the Rams. You needed this win to move into more optimism, and that's all the 49ers have done. And the trade deadline is this week, and who knows who's going to be joining the band. So,
yeah, and one of those positions that people keep trying to replace on the 49ers is linebacker. I know they keep talking about the linebacker out in Cincinnati. Tatum Bethune, 16 tackles today. What a game from Tatum Bethune.
And a bullshit flag.
That flag, yeah, he got penalized for making a tackle. He really got penalized for making a tackle.
My thing is, it's like, it feels like the quarterback, when he's running, he's baiting you into being like, you can't hit me, you can't hit me. And then when it happens, like, come on, man, like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, I really did not like that call. They said it was in the head or neck area, but like that's a runner. Like, Jackson Dart was a runner in that situation. But Tatum Bethune, I mean, he's. I feel like a lot of people got to feel silly for calling for Nick Martin in this situation, because
Nick Martin can't play Mike.
Well, exactly that too. A lot of people wanted Nick Martin to get snaps, and he can't play Mike. But Tatum Bethune has done a great job at that Mike position since taking over, and it feels really good. Upton Stout, I thought he had a decent performance. Renardo Green had a couple of pass breakups. Yosef makes a good point here too. A no call on a PI in the end zone on Jawan Jennings.
That was awful.
It was very weird.
But they gave it back. But they gave it back on the Slayton one. So
the Slayton one where Jair Brown broke it up?
No. It was Renardo Green, kind of like it was the same. It was the same deal, and they just.
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. I don't mind it. If you're gonna call it, it's like strike zone, right? We're gonna talk about stupid fucking baseball. If you're gonna call the outside pitch the strike, then call it all the way to strike. If you're gonna let them hand fight, and you're gonna then let it go. Let it go. By the way, what a World Series game that was last night.
Man.
I watched it at a Niners party in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Dude, I'm so tired. There were so many parties this entire weekend. I'm wiped. But it was that was an amazing game. Miguel Rojas build the statue, and wherever it is that he goes, that's it.
I was watching it with my girlfriend last night, in the whole 9th inning. I'm like,
Shohei's coming up because he has a girlfriend.
Sick brag. Shohei's coming up third this inning. Like, he might tie the World Series, and this bozo Miguel Rojas does it. Like, crazy Dude. Baseball game. But we're here to talk Niners football. Jason Aponte, good
Niners
baseball
win.
corner there.
Niners win 34. What is it? 20? 24. Yeah. Look, and the drip is exhausting, and Oh my God, man. It's so crazy. Like I'm about to so what's gonna happen is I'm gonna be on here like with you guys talking. But when I get out of here, I'm gonna walk back into that parking lot. Oh, Giants fans, if you're watching, you don't know what is about to happen to you like as soon as I get outside. Cause don't talk to me. Please don't talk to me. Talk to Jesus and call your best friend because don't talk to me because I don't got nothing nice to say to you, bud.
Hey, Jason, even better news for the 49ers. The Panthers just beat the Packers on a game-winning kick. So the Niners are still floating around that top area of the NFC.
Is that a welcome to dairy reference?
Do,
Floating
do we
around.
do we want to talk Welcome to Dairy? Because I've watched the
Listen to
first two
me.
episodes. Do we
Listen
just
to
want to
me.
make this? Do we want to make
Listen to
this
me.
instant reaction at Welcome to Dairy
I
show?
cannot wait to get back to the crib so I can watch that episode 2, man.
Oh, I
Holy
already watched
shit.
episode 2, my guy. It's a very good episode. You should.
It's already out?
Yeah, it came out. It came out on Halloween. They did a special Halloween release.
What the well, whatever. Last night I was with Steph and I was with the gang and we whew, uh let's just say I didn't feel good this morning.
You know,
What we're in.
where do you want to go from here? I feel like we've touched on a lot. Brian Robinson. Let's
Um
touch on Brian Robinson real quick
yeah,
because
yeah.
5 carries, 53 yards, a long carry of 18 yards. He has his, I believe it was his first touchdown as a 49er. Let me confirm that
Yes.
before
Second.
I was it his second? I want
I think it's
nope,
the second.
his first
First.
touchdown
There you go.
as a 49er. Every time he touched the ball, he was ripping off big runs. And then he has the big, I believe it was a 42-yard kickoff return, a 41-yard kickoff return to set up the final touchdown scoring drive of the game for the 49ers, which was also aided by a Christian McCaffrey 39-yard reception. And I think that's the Brian Robinson the Niners were hoping for, where, at the start of the season, he's had up and down games. He hasn't gotten a ton of touches, but he does get 5 carries today. He gets the 56 yards, and that's what the Niners were wanting from him, as just kind of a change of pace guy, a little more physical. His touchdown run, he ran through about 3 or 4 tackle attempts. That's the Brian Robinson the 49ers wanted.
Yeah. Look, but I do think that while you want to see Brian Robinson because it's in the interest of slowing down Christian McCaffrey's workload, this is the perfect week for it to be everybody.
Yeah.
Like you should have got Isaac Lorendo in there so you can start seeing the ball go through the hoop. Like if you really want to give everybody confidence, the Giants' run defense is fucking atrocious. And it has been all year, right? 32nd in run defense. Worse against outside zone. Worse on EPA per play per rush. Like this is exactly the week that you needed to kind of see the ball go through the hoop. So for me, I'm not going to read too much into it just because it doesn't mean that because the 49ers were able to run the football against the worst run defense in football, that's going to continue. And the Rams are certainly not going to let that happen. But yes, it would be nice to see Brian Robinson a little bit more in order to preserve Christian McCaffrey, who, by the way, Christian McCaffrey, I don't know what they said, man. You lost a step, whatever. I don't care. Thank you. Just fucking thank you, man. Just thank you. Like, dude, like you've been carrying this team. Like, there's no way this team is 6-3 without Christian McCaffrey. And for everybody that said it was a problem for trading for a running back at that time, I just want you to go pull up your takes and put that shit on Twitter so you can like embarrass yourself because you didn't trade for a running back. You traded for a Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, and again, McCaffrey, as I said, 106 yards, 3.8 average, but it's really that type of, it felt like a Christian McCaffrey game this season. He's not been the best on the run game this year. He's near career low average in terms of yards per attempt. But this felt like a game where if you kept giving him the ball, he was going to break something. And especially that second to last drive, he kind of felt like he was getting 6-7 yards every carry. But he gets to 106 yards. I think there's a case to be made that Christian McCaffrey needs to be somewhere in the MVP conversation just because of how much he's kept this Niners offense alive this season. I'm not going to sit here and say he's the MVP of the league. I think Jonathan Taylor has a better case as a running back this year than Christian McCaffrey for MVP. But just considering all the injuries to this 49ers offense, and it doesn't feel like they've necessarily missed a step with Christian McCaffrey, despite no Brandon Ayuk, despite no George Kittle, despite no Brock Purdy, despite missing a lot of these players. But Christian McCaffrey has just been the most consistent player. And I mean, how many 100+ yard games does he have this season in terms of total yards? He's been very, very impressive this season.
Yeah, yeah, 100%, man. Shout out to Christian McCaffrey. And look, all things considered, until we find out like what's going on with Michael Williams, which I fully expect the worst news. No matter what it is that you feel, oh, he walked off. I don't care. They're just gonna say that his legs need to be sheared off at the hips. For when they give the injury report. But all things considered, you couldn't ask for anything better than this. Really. And Mac Jones did it again, and he's the best backup quarterback in football. And Kyle Shanahan deserves his credit. So does Robert Saleh, man. And I've got some things that, like, I guess we want to see on tape. I think it was really interesting that Spencer Burford started at left guard today. I think that was very interesting. So there's things to watch there, because what happens now, it sounds like Ben Bartch is going to be back next week. So, how do they feel? But they clearly felt better about Spencer Burford being there against this fierce Giants front four at left guard than they did Connor Colby, which, read into whatever it is that you want. Like, it didn't seem like Mac was like under that much pressure. So there's a lot of things to dive into this or whatever in this game or whatever as we move forward. But we'll review the tape and we'll figure all that out. But like, I just want to make sure we let it be known. The Giants fucking suck, and kiss my ass, Giants fans. You got to eat this one, because you've been popping that shit about Eli Manning in like 2012. Well, you know what happened today, and you know what happens every day since then? You get your ass beat. So let's go Niners.
Some more good news for the Niners. The Vikings just defeated the Detroit Lions. So that's another one that helps the 49ers kind of playoff positioning right now. I want to ask you about the sequence actually at the end of the first half, Jason Aponte, because the Niners get the ball with no timeouts, 38 seconds left.
Got too greedy.
Deep. I instantly said, hey, maybe take it into the half. Brian Burns blows by McKivitz to force the fumble. But then the Giants, they start with the ball at the 27-yard line. It's almost like they didn't want the ball, because they
end up with nothing.
They started with a run with Tracy for no gain. That felt like a very interesting choice. Then back-to-back incomplete passes, and then Graham Gano misses a 45-yard field goal. That felt like the Giants' chance to get back in this game, and they instantly gave it away. So what did you think about that sequence?
Yeah, you just, Kyle, I don't know what you're doing right there. Like, you got to just, look, again, count your blessings, take your knee and go. Like, and that's it. Like, now you're pressing your luck. Like, if you were like moving the football up and down the field, and maybe if like Ricky Pearsall and Brandon Ayuk are on the field, you feel like you can get some deep shots going, bro. You still like let's rein it in. Like, let's pull it back a little bit. So, Kyle, I'm gonna look at you and be like, yo, you need to like chill out right there. But no harm, no foul. Doesn't matter. The Giants suck. So that helps a lot.
And then speaking of kickers, Graham Gano missing that kick. What did you feel about Eddie Piñeiro's 54-yard kick? Because that thing came out flat. I didn't think it was going to get high enough, and it was good because he's Eddie Piñeiro and he doesn't miss kicks.
Nothing but respect for my kicker. Stop playing with kickers. Nothing but respect for my kicker. I never a doubt. Literally, I was like, I didn't even have to watch. Like, I literally was just like, oh, this shit's lit. Like, it's in. And then, like, I just hear everybody cheering. And I was like, cool. I didn't have to watch. Me and Kyle Shanahan not watching Eddie Piñeiro kicks, because he's that guy.
We like it. Imagine not having this podcast has never slandered a kicker before. Imagine not having a good kicker.
I've slandered bad kickers.
Slander bad kickers, not good kickers. We like kickers who do their job. I touched on it earlier, Jason. Juwan Jennings needed this game. 4 receptions, 41 yards, a touchdown. More importantly, though, mistake-free football. No penalties, no drops. Juwan Jennings looked really good, and the Niners need that. And maybe if you want to read into the rumors a little bit, a tryout for a potential trade partner. We'll see what the trade deadline looks like. We'll see. Obviously, anything can happen within the next, 48 hours at this point. But a much-needed performance by Juwan Jennings.
Look, man, I'll tell you what I really like, the coordinated touchdown dance
Yes.
between him, Kendrick
Hey,
Bourne, and Demarcus Robinson.
most screen time I've seen this season for Demarcus Robinson, so anything to work for him, man.
Demarcus Robinson might not be good. Like I think we have to have a discussion about that. But it doesn't matter. Like regardless, like if all things go right, Ricky Pearsall's back, and then eventually Brandon Ayuk's back, and you don't need to see Demarcus Robinson. But look, yeah, absolutely, big game for Jawan Jennings. I was with the 49ers fan who said literally this is the game that he's going to score a touchdown. When you have a feeling, you have a feeling. You got to run with it. I usually run with feelings, so like he was dead ass right. But yeah, big game. And it was cool to see them dance in the end zone together because I like seeing other teams do that. And I feel like sometimes the
Yeah.
49ers feel like they're above that. And you're not above that. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, the first touchdown for Jawan Jennings since his game-winning score against the Saints. So it's been a while since we've seen Jennings in the end zone. Jordan Watkins had a great catch too, man. One reception. That was the tight window throw. I was thinking about that. Mac Jones made one reception for 19 yards. That was a good Jordan Watkins catch.
Jordan Watkins made a catch.
Yeah, we like it. We like it, Jason. Anything else you want to talk about your experience at the game? Because I feel like we kind of touched on everybody.
No, it's been a phenomenal weekend. I ran into somebody yesterday who's from Israel who says, "I watch you every single day whenever you put something out." I met someone who said, "Is that Jason Aponte? I watch you every Tuesday with stuff like just man like the the community, right? Like and the things that we built, man. It just and I'm so humbled by anybody who enjoys the content, and that's it. I don't take it for granted one bit, man. And this entire weekend has been just nothing but fun, man. It really has, man. I've had nothing but fun. But yeah, the MetLife thing is like, you walk through, you see people, and 49er fans are yelling bang bang. I'm not a big fan of it, but like I get it. Like, it's just, yeah, exactly. And Matt says best birthday ever. My birthday's in a few days. Best birthday ever. Move over year after Avery and JJ were born. This is the best one. So
yeah, I was gonna say, Jason, you get a win against the hometown Giants a couple days before your 28th birthday. So just shout out Jason Aponte for it, huh?
Yeah, look, this is personal, right? Like no
Yeah.
one will ever understand any of this, right? Like you guys just won't get it because I live here. I have to deal with this all the time. Whenever I wear my 49ers shit, it's always a Giants fan who's like, remember in 2012? I don't give a fuck. Today's 2025. And you know what? Your team fucking sucks. And they can't hold my team. And you know what? You have to deal with your coach crying. You need a new coach next year. Kiss my ass. Like listen, man. Don't get me started because I'm about to get disrespectful as soon as I start to get into this parking lot. Like,
Yeah.
don't fucking play with me. Like, I'm telling you right now, yo, don't piss me off and don't activate me because I will go nuts on y'all. Like, don't listen. Talk to me very nice. Talk to me very, 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 very nice. Make sure that you say things with your lowest voice. Don't ever in your life think you can raise your voice to me as a 49ers fan, knowing that you root for the New York Giants in the big 2025. Kiss my ass.
Well, Jason, let's start working towards getting you towards that parking lot to celebrate a little bit. You want to go through 3 stars?
Yeah.
3 stars. I'm gonna go 3rd star. I'm gonna go Tatum Bethune just for the 16 tackles. Like that's a really high number. 8 solo tackles, 16, 1 pass deflection. Bullshit penalty, which should not have been a penalty. But with the loss of Fred Warner, it was a big question. And now 2 of the 3 games he's replaced Fred Warner in, he's looked really good. So I'm gonna go Tatum Bethune for the 16 tackles.
I am going to go with Trent Williams. You know why? I didn't hear his name called like in any way in this game, against whoever it was. That didn't matter. We have a lot of discussions about where Trent Williams is. Thank God for Trent Williams. And I think he looked great. Someone said, how about Burford? I got to watch the tape. I got to watch the tape. I'll say that. But I'll say Trent Williams because I think we never put him on 3 stars because we're just like, we're taking greatness for granted, and I don't want to do that. And I think he was great today.
My 2nd star will go Jawan Jennings. I've been hard on him a couple weeks, man. It's been rough for him. I've been tough. But 4 receptions, 41 yards, a touchdown. That
Yeah.
route, I don't even know what that route's called, man. I thought it was a dig, but
Whip.
I'm incorrect. Whip, is that the correct word? A whip
I
route?
mean, I don't know.
Uh,
I look, man. I can't watch the film when I'm watching it, so I
he
can't tell you that.
he
You know.
completely lost Corey Black on that route, wide open for a touchdown. It was a game that Juwan Jennings needed, and he looked very, very good. So shout out Juwan Jennings, number 2 star.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna go Tatum Batoon at number two, man. Like all those tackles, everything. Look, again, you're not replacing Fred Warner one for one. I think he's a very fine, solid football player, and he's somebody who understands his job. You got called for a bullshit PI. I stand with you, buddy. If they fine you, if I had the money, I would pay the fine for you. I don't though, and I hope they don't. But he was fine, man, and I think Tatum Batoon is somebody who, you have to start looking at the 49ers and saying, hey, man, there's a factory of linebackers, and he's the next one.
My number 1 star. I have a feeling we're going to agree, Jason
Yep.
Aponte. Is it
Do
Christian
it.
McCaffrey?
Yeah.
28 carries, 106 yards, a touchdown on the ground, 5 receptions, 67 yards for a touchdown in the air.
Yep.
Really the player keeping the Niners offense afloat, even though the run game has been struggles. It's good to see him over 100 yards. I think that's only his second 100-yard game of the season,
Yep.
which is him taking advantage. It's 2 worst run defenses the Niners to face, Atlanta and the Giants. But that's all the Niners really need because he's been so impressive in the pass game. And he's kind of teetering towards that 1,000 season conversation. The receiving, 559 receiving yards, 490 rushing yards. Like he's teetering towards that conversation. And I mean, that's not even today's stats. So he's over 600 rushing yards on the season. He's over 600 passing yards on the season. And Jason, unfortunately, halfway through the season after today. So I mean, he's really teetering towards that 1,000 season.
Oh man, Christian McCaffrey, you literally you worked miracles on this offense. I know we talk about Mac Jones. I know we talk about Kyle Shanahan, but none of that shit is possible if Christian McCaffrey isn't the guy who's the engine pushing this forward, man. So I mean, Christian McCaffrey, you're everything, bro. Like just when they said that you weren't, you lost a step, this and that, but want to hear that shit, man. You are the engine that drives this offense. And I shudder to think at what it'll look like if Ricky Pearsall is back next week, if Brandon Ayuk comes back in a little bit, and what you're able to do. And so is Brock Purdy. This is all reason for optimism moving forward. And you know what? Next week is a very, very good test. I want the 49ers and the 49ers fans to understand that they're very lucky that Christian McCaffrey's here, man. And he's laying it all on the line. He's the reason this team is just where they are, man.
Sierra, thank you for the super chat. No comment. If you meant to throw a comment in there, throw it in there. We'll try and get it before we get out of here. But thank you for the donation. Yeah, man, Christian McCaffrey's just been very, very good. Mike G trying to slander a little bit here, but we'll take that away. But Niners win 34-24. An important
Wait, did
win.
they find out about Michael today?
Not yet. No, we haven't. I haven't seen anything officially on Michael. Kyle just said, "Oh, so now people are saying, I guess." Michael, just came across from Rappaport. 49ers edge, Michael Williams, their first rounders feared to have torn his ACL. Kyle Shanahan told reporters a brutal season. So I think we're at a point where the Niners really gotta consider a bigger trade for a pass rusher. With that being the news for Michael Williams. So an unfortunate way to end the live chat or the live reaction here, instant reaction, Jason. But we'll see. Doesn't sound good for Michael Williams.
I can't take this shit anymore, man. I really fucking can't, dude. I just like, why? Why the fuck, man? What did we do? Who like?
It's crazy how it seems to just be one position group. Because I mean, literally, it's been almost every defensive end on this team, especially with Bryce Huff. Hopefully, he comes back next week. And Michael Williams, yes, it might not be a stat stuffing season for him, but he's been quality, especially in the run game. Hasn't created a lot in the pass rush situation, but again, a lot of that was going to be bearing on Nick Bosa, and without Nick Bosa, it's been a little tough. They were 5 minutes away from escaping MetLife Field, and it doesn't sound like they got away from it.
All right, let's just.
Well, we don't need to form thoughts about it, Jason. We have SRO tomorrow, 5:15, normal time, whatever it may be. We'll dive in more into Michael Williams because we'll have more information on it. But Jason, let's end up here. 34-24 Niners win 6-3. They have the Rams next week, which will be a very important game. I know the Rams are taking on the Saints right now. That score is 7-0 early on. So we'll see. Maybe the Saints do something for us. Probably not. But Jason, let's get out of here before there's more news that we have to be sad about. Niners win 34-24 out in MetLife. Jason, go enjoy your time in the parking lot as always.
Let's go Niners. What is it?
Let's
Stop hating
go
me.
Niners. Hey man, Michael Williams, good solid player. Hopefully the fear isn't what is reality. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.